Welcome to my channel, Phil Necro Fan 35. I'm Billy. It's a nice, cool fall morning here in West Virginia. I'm out for a walk. Thought I'd do a video. It's a little different than what I normally do. I'm not going to show any cards. I'm going to talk a little about my collecting journey and maybe some thoughts on the hobby. I bought my first cards in 1973 when I was 9 years old. I bought cards up to sometime between 1990 and 92. I have most of those cards in storage at a longtime neighbor's house. I need to go get. I just don't have no room where I live for them because there's probably 5 or 6 totes of cards from the 70s, 80s, early 90s. I know in my 73 cards I have Hank Aaron, Roberto Clemente. I know I have several of the late 80s sets complete. But I collected up to the end, and from like 90, 92, somewhere along there to 2023, I didn't buy any cards. In October of 2022, my best friend, my collecting buddy, my brother from another mother, my drinking buddy, bought me a 1967 Topps Phil Necro and a PSA 6. Kind of rekindled my interest. I watched a few videos with him on YouTube. We hadn't found most of the good vintage videos yet, but we'd found some videos on baseball cards. And then in early 23, I started buying cards on eBay again, and started with Phil Necro because I wanted to get it. He's my favorite player, has been since 1979. I wanted to get his full run. I'm still about 25 to 35 cards short of all his playing day cards. Then later in 2023, after I started buying cards, started watching more videos, started watching Chris from Missouri, Mike Baseball Collector, Sammy Thunder, Orlando Collector's Dream, Four Collectors, and others. And I keep adding people to watch. I learn from everybody. My collection, I cannot stay focused, so my collection's everywhere. I've focused up to recently, about 6 months ago, mostly on my Phil Necro and my 64 Topps collection. My 64 Topps collection is about 60% complete. I hope sometime between now and the end of the Strongsville show to be at least at 80%, if not more. But back to my collection journey. 2023, started buying cards, watching videos. Late 2023, early 2024, we seen a lot of videos, especially from the mayor of Strongsville, Chris from Missouri, about Strongsville. Checked it out on some stuff out online about the show, and me and my buddy decided to go. So in 2024, we went up on Friday, went to the show Friday, checked out Saturday, went to the show a little bit on Saturday, then left. Then last year we checked in on Friday and left on Sunday. And for the next year's show, 2026, we're checking in on Thursday and leaving on Sunday. Going to the Strongsville show is not only about buying cards, it's about hanging out with your friends from the YouTube community. We all have a good time. I meet new people each year. Jason, Everyday Card Collector, I met at Strongsville. Dave, Peacemaker Cards. Theo, Clemente Collector. and a lot of others. And we have a good time hanging out and stuff. And also from watching people's videos is what gets my collection in such a vast direction. Watching Jason, Everyday Car Collector, and Aaron at Value Vintage have got me more into looking at pre-war cards, especially oversized cards. I've bought a Gowdy wide pen, a T206, and I've got into the exhibit cards. I had a question here a while back, which is great about the YouTube community. You can always find somebody to ask a question. They don't know the answer, they'll find somebody and ask them. But I bought two 1963 stat back exhibits of Warren Spahn. Didn't know one of them was a stat back because that's not how the eBay lister had it listed. But they were different. One was a black and white photo, one was a tan photo. So I contacted Scott at Stooks Baseball Cards and Curiosities. He checked for me, got back, and there is two variations of the different colors, the black and white and the tan one. So that was a great help. Any questions, there's always somebody out there that can help you. I'm also trying to expand my collection with some player runs. I've been working on Burt Blyleven, Gaylord Perry, Don Mattingly, Dale Murphy, Warren Spahn, Eddie Matthews, Hank Aaron. Besides my 64 Topps, I've been trying to buy the 64 Topps coins. Other players, Steve Carlton, Alex Rodriguez. I also tried to collect the Braves team sets. I've got most of the 1970, about half of the 1970 Topps Braves cards collected so far. I'm going to do a video here probably late next month, early December. I'm going to do one on my goals for next year, but I'm also doing one on a 5-year plan. And that things could change from going down the rabbit holes. Most of my cards I buy are raw. I do buy graded cards if they're a good deal. If the price is in the $15 to $20 range, I'll usually buy a graded card, because time I buy a raw card, send it off to be graded, pay the grading fee, the shipping, buy the raw card, the shipping and taxes on it, I've spent more than that. So if I find cards that are good deals, that are graded, I'll buy them. But raw cards are fine with me. I don't buy for the grade anyways. I buy to have the card. I really like watching the YouTube videos of the other collectors, just because we all collect different. We all collect different things, but we all have a good time and enjoy collecting. You get to see a lot of great cards. I mean, Mr. President John Mangini, really great cards. Orlando Collector's Dream, get to see a lot of great Cuban cards that I wouldn't know nothing about. And I've learned a lot about players I knew nothing about through the YouTube and through collecting. From Doug at Smoky Joe Wood Collector. Never knew who he was until I met Doug at Strongsville in 2024. Come back and did a little research on my own. Also did a little research after the first year on Sam the Jet Jethro, who was the first African American to play for the Boston Braves. There's other players I'd like to start adding to my player runs. Harmon Killebrew, of course, Willie Mays, Willie McCovey, Roberto Clemente, Satchel Paige, which, you know, I don't know if I can afford any Satchel Paige cards. Mickey Mantle, even though most of his cards, except for maybe some of the 60s, are out of my price range at this time. But you can always find cards. They don't have to be perfect. For me, if I'm buying something and I want it and it's a one or authentic and it looks good, I'll buy it. We all should buy what makes you happy because it's your collection. I know I'm just jumping from subject and rambling, but out walking, and I just talk about what comes to my mind. I didn't plan much about this. I hope to maybe make a few more shows in 2026. I'd like to at least get to the Philly show. Also the show in Pittsburgh that's at the Washington Mall. We have a few small shows around here where I live in West Virginia. Sometimes there's a good bit of vintage, you know, maybe 20-25%. Sometimes it's very small, maybe 5%. So it's just hit and miss. I've also started adding some non-sports cards to my collection. I bought some president cards from different years off of Cardcast on his Whatnot channel. Lenny's a great guy. He always sends you a little extra, which I really appreciate. Walking and talking making hard for me to breathe, but I've been trying to walk more every day to maybe take some of this weight off so I don't have so much trouble breathing when I'm walking and talking. Some thoughts on the hobby. We all think SEC is going to go away. I hope not, because I really like the way the cards look, and if I was going to grade a card, I'd prefer to grade them with them. But maybe another company will come along to take their place. I think the new cards, modern cards, ultra modern, cost way too much to buy by the pack. So if I want somebody, you know, there's Phil Niekro, Hank Aaron, Warren Spahn, Eddie Matthews, you know, most Hall of Famers. I'll just look for the cards. Sometimes you can find those in a dollar box or 5 for $1. But buying the packs, you know, I've seen packs of cards, you know, $100, $500, $600, $700 for a hobby box. You know, how are people will be able to stay in the hobby buying modern cards at that price? Like I said, you know, we should all collect what makes us happy. I mean, if it's raw, graded, and graded if you prefer one company, whether SGC, PSA, Beckett, CGC, or one of the smaller companies, collect it. That's what makes you happy. You know, if you like player runs, collect player runs. If you like team sets, collect team sets. If you like sets, collect sets. So whatever makes you happy and what brings you enjoyment out of collecting. I love, especially the older cards with players that play for a long time. We've got a lot of the stats, got some facts to read. Like I said earlier, the YouTube community is great. Everybody I've met's been good. We all collect different, but we all have a good time when we're together. We all like talking about cars. You know, it might not be the same cars, might not be the same era. It might be the golden era of vintage, might be pre-war, might be 19th century. You know, some people only like the tops or Bowmans. There's others that like the exhibits, the Gaudis, the diamond stars. But, you know, collect what you like. It makes you happy. That's what counts. Because if you're collecting stuff and it's not making you happy, it's not worth collecting. Well, I think I've rambled long enough today. Hope everybody enjoys my video. Give it a like, subscribe to my channel, and everybody have a great day.